Randomized control trial is an experimental form of impact evaluation where intervention is the only difference between the two groups, such as that one group receives the intervention that is being tested, whereas for the other group, they are receiving an alternative treatment. This form of design, considered the most robust of all evaluation methodologies, involves gathering a set of equally eligible individuals willing to participate in the program and randomly dividing them into treatment and control group. The control group for this method is generated through random assignment to serve as the perfect counterfactual, free from selection bias. This randomization of groups depends on the level at which the program is implemented, such as through individual level randomized control trial and cluster RCT, such as the village level, school level, etc. The diagram on the screen explains how the random selection and random assignment is carried out for a study. Randomized control trials are prospective studies that measure the effectiveness of new interventions or treatment. RCTs are the gold standard for studying causal relationship because it involves randomization. The act of randomization balances participant characteristics between groups. This enables the reduction of bias and provides a rigorous tool to examine the cause-effect relationships between an intervention and outcome. On the other hand, this method of research has certain limitations, such as having ethical issues involved in the implementation. It is also an expensive method that requires an abundance of time and money, while also having a risk of contamination or spillover of the gathered information. RCT has a method or implementation strategy called the stepped wedge design, which is used in special cases where the program would be implemented in a phased manner. A stepped wedge design is a type of randomized control trial that is used to evaluate the effectiveness of an intervention. It is used when it is not feasible to randomly assign participants to the intervention or control group at the same time. In this design, the group of participants are randomly assigned to receive the intervention at different points in time. This allows for the collection of data on the intervention's effectiveness over time, as well as the identification of any potential confounding factors. Stepped wedge designs can be a useful tool for evaluating the effectiveness of interventions in a variety of settings. To have a clearer understanding of the stepped wedge RCT, let us look at an example. For instance, let us try to estimate the use of technology in increasing learning gains. Firstly, we need to assume that the program will run for a period of 3 years. In this program, there will be a group of 300 students who are randomly selected from a school and divided into 3 groups of 100 each. Now suppose the first group was given a tablet with preloaded educational content in the first year. The second group was given a tablet with content in the second year. Finally, the third group was given the tablet with the content in the third year. To track the effects of the tablet distribution among the 3 groups, we need to measure the learning levels of each group every year. We will find that in the first year, the difference between the first and second or third group was the impact due to the intervention for 1 year. Consequently, in the second year, the difference between the first and second group was the impact after 1 more year of intervention, whereas the difference between the first and the third group would be the impact of giving the technology for 2 continuous years. And finally, this method would ensure that by the third year, all students would get the technology.